Hey guys, welcome again to another episode of Here We Grow at the Hive at Garden Studios. Today we have another special guest. I'm going to get her to introduce herself. So your name, where you're from, where you were raised.
My name is Diaz Malika. I'm a presenter. I present at The Beat London 103.6 FM. I do the lunchtime shows from 1 to 4 p.m. I'm from Islington. I'm a North London girlie.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm from Islington. And the background is St. Lucia and Jamaica. I'm always in every part of London now.
Yeah.
I used to be very concealed though. Like I used to actually stay to my area to be like, oh my gosh, I don't want to. But as I got older, now I'm just everywhere.
Cool. So how long have you been presenting?
Well, officially, I've only had my show for about 2 months with my radio station for over a year and a half now. And I went from being an intern all the way up to being a presenter. So I would say that, yeah, the actual presenter journey officially of my own show has been 2 months, but the whole journey has been over a year and a half.
Explain to me about the journey.
Yeah.
Not only you being an intern, but before you were an intern, what did you do?
It honestly goes all the way to when I was a child. I've always been in performing arts. I've always been like a creative individual just from birth. Like I also did dance classes. I don't know if you know Zoo Nation.
I have heard, yes.
Do you know Zoo Nation? Yeah, they're like a dance like company. I was doing that for a while. In secondary school, of course, I did my GCSEs. And then in college, I studied performing arts.
Nice.
I studied performing arts level 3. Ever since then, when I left college at 18, I was like, I know this is what I want to do for a career full time. And I started going into the acting, doing my acting auditions and stuff like that. Got a lot of experience, and then it led me onto this path of presenting now.
So it sounds like there's a lot of like transferable skills that you learned from your acting / dancing
Definitely.
into the presenting.
Definitely. That's exactly how it felt. When I started at my radio station, I just felt like my experience as an actor, when I went into presenting, it just felt like second nature, because I was like, this is literally the same as acting. Because people say to me, oh, don't you get nervous and stuff like that? And when I was doing my internship, and when we had, because we interview quite big names or we'll be around big names, they would ask me if I got nervous, and I'd be like, listen, if you are an actor, you know that nothing's going to make you nervous after that.
Yeah.
Having to do auditions, do you know how it feels to go into a room and there's like 3 casting directors just sitting there, and they're like, when you're ready? And you just have to go. It's crazy because it doesn't matter how great you are. If you let the nerves take over, it can really affect your performance. And I actually had that issue when I was much younger and I went to auditions. I'm so confident, and I was always so confident, but getting in that room would make me feel so nervous to the point where sometimes I would freeze up. I would leave the room and I'd be so upset, and I'd just be like, they don't even get to know how talented and amazing I am because the nerves are taking over right now.
How old were you then?
Then I was 13 to 16.
Wow.
After 18 is when I took a little bit of a break and I redirected into presenting.
Before we get on to your presenting, I want to know your auditioning.
Yeah.
Any like big casts you went for?
I would go to a lot of auditions, and I wouldn't even know the magnitude of the auditions that I would go into. So for example, I actually auditioned for Black Panther.
Yeah, wow.
I auditioned for Black Panther, and I had no clue at the time. I remember my agent told me when I got the brief and everything for the audition that it was a Marvel film. And I remember I went into the place, I went into the audition space, and one thing that you'll notice as well is when you're an actor and you go into a space, you get even more pressure because you'll walk into the room and everyone looks like you.
How do you, I guess your agent you might say, but how is it that you make a decision of what to audition for?
In the acting industry, when you have an agent, when it comes to your auditions, most of the time your agent does have the control over that. So your agent sources auditions and will send you forward for them. You can give your agent like a idea of what kind of roles that you want to go for, definitely, and you can always turn them down. So if your agent gives you something and you read it and you feel like, oh, this isn't for me, you can always say that you don't feel comfortable or you don't necessarily want to do that. But it usually is your agent, because the way that it works is through the agent's relationship with casting directors. They reach out to the agents and just give them a description of, it's only physical because the rest doesn't matter because it's a character. You bring that forth. So it's physical. So they'll just give a physical description. And if that matches your agent's clients, then they'll put you forward. The roles that I got to audition for, I actually liked, I'd say a good 90% of them. There was only like probably 10% where I was like, oh, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But most of them I was happy with, yeah.
Is that, would you say, because you've got a good relationship with your agent and they sort of know what you want, what you're like?
Yes, it depends, because if you speak to your agent frequently outside of work and you check in and they know what you're looking for and stuff like that, you will have more of a personal relationship. Whereas if you like never speak to your agent and it's only when they send you things, the relationship's less personal. Like, it is unfortunate, but sometimes there can be instances where certain people are like they're favoritized for the agents. So agents can have favorites where they always send a certain few people out and the other people on their books can kind of get lost.
Yeah.
So you never want to be the actor that gets lost in the books. I feel like a lot of people might rely on the agent to build that relationship and think that the agent, no, it's your choice. You have to show that eagerness. You have to speak to your agent. Maybe if you haven't been offered a job on audition in a while, you reach out to the agent. Oh, I haven't heard anything for a couple of weeks. Or is there anything that's coming out? Honestly, because you have to think about it from their point of view as well. They've got all of these clients and they're just thinking about whatever's coming to them and whoever they're sending out. You're not going to get that extra attention or time if you don't put yourself forward. If you now put yourself forward and say, I haven't heard anything in a while, you're now at the front of their mind. So they say, actually, let me have a look. And they'll be thinking about it. And if you feel like you're not valued by your agent and you feel like you're not really getting work and maybe there's someone on the books that's always getting the work, then I'd say definitely try and find another agent, because you might just end up being stuck in that position, but it's not benefiting you.
How do you choose the right agent? Well, we know it's not going to be a right agent, but how did you choose your agent?
So with me, I just went on multiple auditions, because when you, in the beginning, if you don't have credits, it depends. If you have credits, you have the upper hand straight away. So if you have credits, you can choose from agents because you're high in demand. The agents want to represent you, so you will have lots of opportunity and you'll have lots of agents, so it will be very easy. You can just go through and be like, do I like this agent, do I not? Whereas when I started out, because it was from scratch and I was young, about 13, 14, I didn't have any credits or anything, so it was more so me proving myself to the agent that I can be on their books, because most agents nowadays, it's hard to get representation if you have no credits.
Okay.
So I was really lucky in my position. Usually you have to have credits before you get the agent, which I know a lot of people may be wondering, how am I going to get those credits in the first place if I don't have an agent? And that's the question that I was asking. But I feel like now, within the generation that we live in, if you don't have the credits and you want representation and you're not able to, create your own thing. Create your own thing. And this is why we have spaces like The Hive. This is why we're here. If you are able to, it doesn't have to be amazing. And trust me, people don't care and agents don't care about it being the best in the world. But if you are able to start something up with your friends or so, a little short film, write yourself a little short film, anything cute. It can be based around anything. We all have life experiences and that's what acting's about. Get a camera and you do a little short film, get that on YouTube, you've now created your own credit. And now you can bring that to an agent and say, this is what I've done, I did it myself. It looks even better because you have produced it, you've directed it all within yourself. It looks even better, and that will open up your doors for people to look at you and bring you in. But in my time when I did it, I hadn't had any credits and I was so young, but so what I did is I went and auditioned. So I just went to agents and I auditioned, and I remember I auditioned for my agent and they loved me and they were like, they wanted to have me on board. And you know, that is how it is a lot of the time as well with younger talent. When you're so young, if they can see that potential, because you're so young, they will bring you in if they see that natural, like if you're charismatic and you have that, and the determination, they will. So that was how it was for my case. But for everyone else, that is what I will advise. Definitely do start your own thing and then just put it on YouTube and make a little show reel out of it.
Did you have any breakthrough, as in like anything that you were in that you thought, oh, I want to stick to this, or you know what, let me try something else? I was going for my auditions, thousands of people. I was getting sent to quite big auditions by my agent actually, so there would be thousands, hundreds of people going for this one role, one spot. So I remember multiple times I went for second rounds, third rounds, then I was disappointed I didn't get them. It is
a stab in the chest. Like, I'm saying, when I was younger, and if you want to be in this industry, and if you are, I know actors will know, it is very difficult dealing with that rejection over and over and over again, especially when you think so highly of yourself and you know that you're good at what you do.
Yeah.
Dealing with rejection is a big thing, and it can really put a down on you. So you have to be careful, and you have to go in it with a positive mindset. I'm a very strong believer of what will be and what won't.
Yes.
It's nothing to do with it's nothing to do with how talented you are, lack of talent, nothing to do with that. It's just to do with the fact that, you know, the world works in a certain way, the universe works in a certain way, and what is for you will be for you. You won't miss what's for you. So I think at that time, I just took it as, maybe right now this isn't the path that I'm supposed to be on at this second, but my love for acting will never go, so I will never completely give it up. But I just thought, I'm never gonna go away from this industry, from performing arts. I'll never like go too far away. But I thought, you know, what else would I want to do in this moment that would fill that space, and I would still feel like I'm fulfilled, like living in my purpose. And it naturally just ended up, that's when it naturally just ended up moving into presenting.
What advice would you have for somebody wanting to get into presenting?
Always show your personality. That's even something that I struggled with in the beginning, because I'm not necessarily, I wouldn't say like I'm big on the social media. I noticed that a lot of the time I wasn't showing my personality on social media, or just in my friends and people around me would see, but I wasn't showing it to the masses and to the people that I'm showing that I'm a presenter. And so the main thing that I would say is show your personality. Any opportunity that you get, you show your personality, go to workshops, network, meet people, and definitely be genuine. Be genuine. That's a big thing that I stand on. Don't do things for the wrong reasons, and don't do it because you want to be famous or you want to be known. Be genuine and shine your positivity, because I'm telling you, when you're authentic and you're yourself and you're a positive person, people will gravitate towards you, and they will latch onto that, and you will naturally just get the opportunity.
Any advice that you were given when getting into the industry that you would say helped you?
I was given the advice of, don't rush things, and work hard and stay, you know, determined, and go after what you want. It doesn't matter if after 2 or 3 years you don't feel like you're where you want to be, or even 4 or 5. If it's what you want to do, never stop, keep going. A lot of people like instant gratification, and they like to get places straight away, and they don't want to put in the work. And the reality of it is just that you won't, you know, succeed in life doing that. You might have a short-lived experience of doing something, but if you want that impact and that longevity in the career that you're going after, you have to sacrifice those years of hard work and determination. And all the greats and all the big people that are doing amazing and their legacy lives on forever, they all put in the years of grind.
Who inspired you then?
When I was younger, and obviously probably when you were younger, we had less black people within you know, these spaces and presenters and being on a big screen. There were much less. So when I was actually growing up, my inspiration was actually Davina McCall. I remember watching TV. I didn't actually see many black presenters and stuff like that. Anyway, it was normal for me to just see like, you know, white presenters, or if it was like even X Factor judges and, you know, stuff like that. But Davina McCall was my inspiration, my very first. I loved her. I remember watching Big Brother when I was younger, and I was like, yeah, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to do. And then as time went on, and there were more, you know, I saw more people that obviously looked like me, because representation matters. Of course, you want to be able to watch your TV and see people that look like you. It's nice to see other people, but you want to be able to say, because it makes you, you feel like you have more of a proximity to it. You feel like, okay, look, they're doing it, I can do it. It doesn't feel so far away, like, oh, okay, well, I don't look like them, so maybe it's not, you know. So as time went on, definitely Maya Jama became my biggest like inspiration. I was like, for today's age and now how society is, I was like, that is exactly how I want to be. And Henry as well from Kiss, she presents on Kiss. I absolutely love her. I honestly love her.
One of the questions that I wanted to ask was about the Hive. You've seen the space.
I've seen the space.
Your thoughts about the
Listen.
space?
This space is honestly beautiful. The main thing that is so important about this space that I thought was the best thing is that everything is in one. So if you want to record on the green screens, if you want to make music, if you want to produce, if you want to edit, everything is in one space. So if you have a production and you have a set or you want to film, you can film, but not only can you film, you can edit after, you can tweak the audio, fix the audio and everything after. You can do voiceovers here, you can do so you don't have to worry about going here and then I've got to go this place to do that, I've got to go back there. You can just do everything at once. If you have any ideas, like I said, anything that you're thinking about, you're an actor or you're a singer and you want a space, you can come here and you can record your music, you can come here and you can make your record your short film. This is where you can make things happen. So if you're thinking, oh, but how do I get that? How do I do that? This is where you do it.
Totally agree with you there. Not because I'm already here.
Yeah.
I totally agree with that because you need spaces like this to be able to network.
Exactly.
Network as well as putting in the work. So you're hands-on as well.
Yeah.
So yes, I totally agree. You as a younger creative, having a space like this, how important would it be?
Do you know what? Having a space like this would be so important because when I was younger, I feel like there were less spaces like this. We had our drama classes, we had our places that you could go, but in terms of like spaces where you can get all of your content, like you said, you can network, you can meet people, you can bring everybody all in one space, you can brainstorm, have ideas. It's honestly crucial because the main question that people always ask is how do I start? How do I get here? Yeah. Now we have that how, we have that where, because it's here.
So not only for the younger generation, we also cater for the professionals already in the industry.
And it's in London.
Yes, very
local. Very local. Yep.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Where can we find you?
Okay, so you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Diaz Malika _ and then at the Beat London 103.6 FM, of course. Every Thursday, 1 to 4 p.m. I do the lunchtime show and I bring the vibes, so you don't want to miss it. Tune in. You can tune in online or in your cars.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.